My name's Carl Theobald. I'm a shift team leader in the Sovereign Tinters filling area. I'm also a Suffolk retained firefighter. Well, I work over a 24-hour period, 3 shifts, be it 6 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to 6, and I have the responsibility of looking after the filling area, and that entails making sure the safety and also the production and the quality constraints and targets are also met during that shift. I came to PPG when I left school. I started down here as a temporary operator. Within about 4 months, was made to a full-time operator. I finally ended up as a temporary team leader. I was about sort of 20, 21 at that point. At the time, I was one of the youngest team leaders on the plant. To have to instruct older members, some of them sort of my father's age, of what I was needed to do was a challenge. Some people saw it as a young upstart coming in, telling them the job that they already know, and some saw it as, well, we'll give the kid a chance and see how he gets on. Yeah, it was always my ambition to be a full-time firefighter. Progressed through the A-levels, 18 come along, and I tried to join Suffolk for the first time. Didn't make the qualification, unfortunately, got through the last sort of half a dozen, but didn't get any further. Since the age of 14, I'd been going along to the local retail fire station in Stowmarket to get a little bit of experience and knowledge on what was going on. So it was then said, well, why don't you come and try out for us as well? So that's what led me down the path of being a retail firefighter, which I've been doing now for the last 11 years. I'm a firefighter both on site and also for Suffolk. And when we're on shift, we actually cover the plant for fires, spills, or any incident that actually happens. The contract I have is 24 hours covers, 365 days a year, constant. PPG let me respond from work. I pay the hours back, so if I'm missing for an hour during the day, then at some point during the rest of the week I'll make that hour back. One of the most rewarding moments is one that happened a couple of weeks ago. Back in April the 2nd, we attended a road traffic collision. The extrication of that person out of this vehicle was very, very tricky. It was looking at about 3/4 an hour to 50 minutes before we could actually get this person out. I've been doing casualty care throughout that time, so I was getting quite a close relationship with the person in there. And 2 weeks ago, the actual guy visited the station to sort of say how well he was doing. So it was a nice way for us to meet him again, because we do help a lot of people out, and I reckon we've maybe had half a dozen in my career that come back and say, thanks very much for what you do. We don't do it for the thank you, but it's nice to see how they've progressed and how they've got on since we've come across them. I also work heavily with the Salvation Army within Stowmarket. I'm a youth worker for them, and I look after the age group from 12 up to 18. So I currently have about 15 sort of teenagers which I have to look after and try and mentor spiritually and also culturally as well. To actually see young people having a positive influence and effect on their local community is fascinating. I've been going to church all my life. My parents brought me up in it. And as a case, if you get to an age group, well, which way do I go? Do I actually carry on, or do I go down a different path and walk away from the church? I was thankful that I had a group of friends. There was about 5 or 6 of us, all went to the same school, same church, so we sort of kept our way through, kept us together. Parents are always naturally proud of their children. They've supported me throughout my career choices. My father is a huge friend of mine, a rock. There's nothing he can't do. DIY, any problems I have, I get on the phone, Dad, can you come round, and he's there straight away. I hope that I can be the same sort of father to my children eventually when we think about having them. If there was one thing that someone could remember me by, hopefully many years' time when I'm not here, that Carl Theobald made a difference. And I think the career path that I've chosen, and also the church life that I've chosen, I would hope that someone will be able to turn around and say, yeah, Carl Theobald made a difference for that person.